All right, hello class. This is the current events for August 30th, Friday. Since I'm not here, I figured I'd still give you your dose of news, although I'm doing this at 8:31 at night on Thursday night, so if there's any breakthroughs that I missed, I apologize. First and foremost, the United States seems to be continuing to gear up for a possible attack on Syria, but it looks like we're going to have to do it alone. British Parliament voted late today that they do not support military action any longer. The United States was under the belief that they had Great Britain's backing, but it looks like they will not. So if we attack Syria, it looks like we will not have the British help. Also, obviously, we will not have the United Nations help because Russia has used its power to squash any chance of a United Nations intervention. So it looks like if we attack, it will be by ourselves. There's also some concern about exactly how the Department of Defense is going to fund any sort of prolonged attack because the military is underseeing all these automatic budget cuts from the sequester. So anyway, we'll see what happens with Syria, especially if we go in alone. My money's still on, by the time we're in this class again Wednesday, something's been bombed by the United States in Syria, but we'll see what happens. In other news, it seems that driving is on the decline in the United States. Ever since 2007, the number of miles we've drove per person is on the decline, and we're actually at the same levels that we were before 1990. So the number of miles we had been driving were going up, but now for the last 6 years or so, it has been on the decline. Economists point to a number of things: the decline in the economy, the rising gas prices, the availability of more public transportation. So Americans just aren't driving as much as they used to. In another news story, Kim Jong-un, the dictator of North Korea, has been accused of murdering his ex-girlfriend. His ex-girlfriend was a member of this band, and apparently the motive for this attack would be his ex-girlfriend made some sort of naughty tape with some of her bandmates and was selling them for profit. And the story goes Kim Jong-un, dictator of North Korea, got upset, so he had a hit squad come and kill her and several members of her band. They just mowed them down with machine guns. Al Capone, St. Valentine's Day Massacre style, just mow them all down. Like I said, this has not been confirmed that the dictator did this, but it does seem pretty strange that his ex-girlfriend, after making such a tape, would die in such a manner. So it looks like Kim Jong-un is just taking out his ex-girlfriend's gangster style. Other things in the news: McDonald's workers are striking for their wages, and I'm going to put up the infographic here so you can take a look at it, maybe pause it if you'd like to read some of this. But what it is saying is that basically over the last few years, McDonald's profits have been skyrocketing, somewhere over 135% increase, but the salary of the workers really hasn't seen an increase. And while many other jobs are unemployed, the number of workers at McDonald's and other fast food chains has been on the rise, and so there has been this movement to increase the wages for fast food workers to double. They're asking for a $15 wage at McDonald's and Wendy's, and also some Walmart companies. Walmart workers have involved themselves in this protest too. So a big push to double the minimum wage. We'll see what happens. They say that there have been protests in over 50 cities, but in some cities where there have been protests, it hasn't really even affected service at fast food restaurants much. So we'll see what happens with the effectiveness of this movement. Speaking of Walmart and some issues facing it, apparently a man is suing Walmart for a defective plastic bag. What he says is that his wife was shopping at Walmart and she had a plastic bag and she was walking objects ripped through the bag and fell on her toe. And some of these objects gave her a little scrape, and over time, the scrape turned to an infection, and she was hospitalized. And despite antibiotics, this infection on her toe got out of control, and the lady died. So now he's suing Walmart, saying that they have defective plastic bags, and also saying that the workers were not trained well enough on how to bag groceries, and thus they put these heavy objects all in one bag that resulted in his wife's death. So, lawsuit against Walmart. We'll see what happens. Those are my current events for today. Sorry if I seem a little tired. It's getting kind of late, and I think maybe I'm getting a little bit of my kid's illness as well. But hopefully I see you on Wednesday, since this is a Friday class and we have the long weekend. Have fun, enjoy this weekend, and good luck with your classwork.